Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a powerful parable that kind of flips the whole idea of justice right on its head. It's a story that makes you look past simple punishment and really think about what it means to make things right.
So let's just kick things off with this huge question, right? Because the story we're about to get into, well, it has a pretty surprising and, I think, profound answer. It really challenges our basic ideas of what justice is for.
Okay, let's set the scene. Our story begins in this kingdom that's just a place of total opposites. And those opposites are perfectly summed up by its two rulers. Their differences go way beyond personality. They get to the very core of what they believe. So on one side, you've got the king. He's fair, he lives simply, and everything he does is for his people. And then you have the queen. She is completely obsessed with luxury, spending fortunes on jewels, and honestly, she sees the poor as nothing more than insects. This isn't just a small disagreement, it's a massive collision of worldviews just waiting to explode. And it's this huge difference between them that really sets the stage for what comes next. A single, unbelievably cruel act that changes, well, everything. It's the moment the queen's cold heart is put on full display. Okay, so picture this. It's a freezing cold winter day, and the queen, just on a whim, decides she's gonna go take a bath in the icy palace river. As you can imagine, she gets out and she is just hit by this wave of bone-chilling cold. She's screaming, "I'm freezing!" Her servants tell her, look, it's gonna take 20 minutes to get a proper fire going. And for her, that's way too long. So, shivering, impatient, she points to a poor farmer's little hut nearby, made of just grass and bamboo, and gives this absolutely shocking order. So the farmer, his wife, and their two kids, they come home to find their entire world just gone, turned to ash. A neighbor tells them what happened, that the queen did it, and basically says, look, there's nothing you can do about it. But the farmer, even in all that devastation, finds this spark of resolve. He totally ignores the warning and just bolts for the palace, ready to demand justice from the king. And this is where the story really takes a turn. We get to the judgment, a judgment that nobody, and I mean nobody, least of all the queen, could have ever seen coming. So in the king's court, the queen has zero remorse. None. To her, the solution's obvious. Just throw some money at the problem. You know, how much can a little hut be worth anyway? But the king, he sees the real issue. It's not about the hut. It's about the queen's complete and utter failure to understand the value of what she actually destroyed. So what does the king do? His verdict isn't jail time. It's not a fine. No, it's a sentence of experience. He orders her stripped of all her jewels, all her fine clothes. He banishes her from the palace. And her punishment? She has to build an identical hut all by herself with no help from anyone. And just like that, the queen is cast out. She's completely alone, and she begins this unimaginable journey. I mean, from the absolute peak of royalty to the life of a common manual laborer. She had nothing. So to survive, she had to learn how to work for the very first time in her entire life. She spent months doing these back-breaking jobs, helping other villagers build their homes, just so she could slowly save up enough money for a few basic tools. Now, this wasn't some quick change. We're talking about a whole year. The first 6 months, that was just pure survival and learning the craft of building. The next 5 months were all about painstakingly gathering materials, every single piece of bamboo, every handful of mud. It took a full year before that hut was finally standing. And when she finally finished it, when she stood there looking at this simple little hut that she built with her own two hands, she felt this incredible sense of pride, a kind of happiness, a real joy that all her royal luxuries had never, ever given her. So a full year after she was banished, this completely transformed woman walks back to the palace. But, and this is the key, she's not there to get her old life back. Think about how she must have looked. Her skin is tan from the sun. Her hands are rough and calloused. She's dressed like a laborer. She was totally unrecognizable. In fact, the king himself didn't even know who she was when he first saw her. So when she finally reveals who she is, she doesn't ask to be queen again. She doesn't even really ask for forgiveness. Instead, she makes this request that just proves how deeply she's changed.
She asks that the farmer and his family get to keep the small palace they'd been living in, and for herself, all she wants is the simple hut she built.
I mean, that's it, right? Her transformation is absolutely complete. She tells the king that the joy she discovered in that simple life, in creating something herself, that was worth more than any crown. She found out where she truly belonged, and it wasn't in a palace. You see, the king's brand of justice was never, ever about revenge. It was all about transformation. It was designed to make the person who did the harm truly understand the impact of their actions. It wasn't about paying a debt. It was about real, lasting personal change. And that leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. Should justice be designed to punish, or should it be designed to heal?